Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to day 17 of the Some Assemblage Required Advent unboxing. And I do know that these are no longer available in the shop, but you know what? There's always next year. So I'm going to keep going. I am going to open this, show you what I've got, pause the video, go pull out some paper and photos, and see what I can make. So we're gonna jump right in. Day 17. This one's thick and it's big. Thick and big. Well, you know, thicker than a piece of wood veneer. It's got at least 2 items in it. Oh, cute. Okay, so we've got some more books. That looks like a little scrapbook, like somebody's pasting something, or a planner or something. A kitty cat, some house plants, yeah, coffee or tea or whatever you happen to drink. And look at those are cool. Some cool stamps. Okay, that's gonna be fun to use. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that for a moment, and I will be back with some paper and a couple of photos. Okay. Okay, so I've pulled out some watercolor paper and a bunch of Shimmerz paints in All of You Truly, Bahama Mama, Pining for You, and Cantaloupe, and I'm using this awesome little holder from Some Assemblage Required, same place the advent calendar is from, and this is a great little tool because it allows me to put all of my paints in there. They're not floating around on my desk and getting confused as to which one is which when they get moved around. Anyway, I am going to use the stamp set. I do use one of the wood pieces. I use the cat piece, but I'm going to use the stamp set primarily. And then I'm also going to use the stencil that was from day 4. So I am using this watercolors. I'm using, I have my little, this is what I call the cat bowl. It's actually called a rinse well. Allows you to rinse your water, and you push the blue button, and then the water drains into the bottom of the bowl and you get fresh water. It's very handy for doing any types of mixed media where you're going to be rinsing your brush frequently. I am just kind of measuring out the size of the leaves and the buds, and painting the buds in 3 different colors, and then the leaves are going to be in 2 different colors. And what I am documenting today is that we lost one of our cats in September. He passed away. So actually, was it September? It was, I think, the last day of September. Yeah. So yeah, just documenting that. Not such a fun subject to document, but I thought these stamps were really pretty and kind of serene feeling, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's what you would call it. But he is kind of like he's not really orange. He's more tan kind of a color. And you're going to see the picture here in a bit. I think I actually had it on my desk right at the beginning. But the colors that I chose go well with the photograph. So I've waited for everything to dry, and then I am stamping with some archival ink from Ranger right over the top of the paint splotches that I've made. And you could do this the reverse way, where you do the stamping, because the archival ink is waterproof once it's dry. But because the Shimmerz paints have shimmer in them, it kind of dulls out the black lines because the shimmer coats it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so they're not as bold, which, you know, maybe the look you might be going for, but it's not the look I was going for. I did just rub the stamp off onto my arm to kind of to prime it. Most of these stamps come with like, I don't know what it is on them, but it makes it so you need to kind of like clean the stamp before you use it. So that's what I did. I just rubbed it off on my arm. Anyway, any residue that was on it is now wiped off. And then I don't normally wipe my stamps off after I use them with archival ink, because the archival ink dries on them, and I feel like I just get a better impression every time I use it by leaving the archival ink on there. It's not going to get reactivated by any water-based products because it's waterproof. So I did fussy cut everything out. I didn't make you sit and watch all of that. The video was quite long if you had to sit and watch all of the fussy cutting and stamping portions of it. And then I'm just going to make a border down the right hand side of this layout to yeah, I just thought it was pretty. It's like a bouquet, and I'm just gonna do a border, and I think it looks really nice. I wasn't really sure how I was gonna use that paper that's underneath. I don't end up using it. I am going to do a little bit of mixed media on the background here, but I want to make sure that I have enough of the flowers before I go to doing any mixed media, because I might need to fill in some gaps with some mixed media or something like that. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it and checking it out. I did mention when I used this stencil earlier in the month that I wanted to come back and revisit using it, and here I am revisiting using it, and I really like it. I think it's really cool, and it's very versatile because it's not got any specific, you know, it's not holiday, it's not seasonal or anything like that. It's just a really great, kind of like a little black dress in your closet. Yeah, it's just a really great stencil to have in your arsenal because it can be used for anything. Now I am using some Tattered Rose and I think Victorian Velvet. Yeah, Victorian Velvet is on the left-hand side, some Tattered Rose on the right-hand side. And I'm just kind of doing a mix of them. They actually look a little bit like Rainbow Sherbet when it's all said and done. I'm not too worried about doing the entire right edge because the flowers are going to cover that. And I could tell that by kind of auditioning them there and lining them up over on the right hand side to see if I liked it. So I didn't really waste any product or any time by making sure there was some ink down that right hand side. But I am inking up to the left hand side because I'm not going to have any flowers over here. I might have some on the photograph, the corner of the photograph, but I'm not going to have any going down the edge. And I think that's just going to bring the color over to this left hand side. I am aligning the stencil with the row above it and keeping the grid pattern how lined up. I am using oxide inks. I should have said that. I did say the color, but I didn't say that they are oxides, and I like the way that they look. And now I am just edging another piece of white paper to go behind this white paper, which I know it seems kind of like I'm doing a lot of using a lot of paper. I guess, you know, I could have masked off an edge on the piece of paper that I already had and done this, but I have a lot of white paper, so I wasn't really too worried about it. I also did the same technique where I've just taken the ink pad to the paper to make a photo mat, and I think that looks really good. I like how it looks. It gives it a little framework, and I really only do a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch, so it's about 1/8 of an inch reveal all the way around, which is not a whole lot, but I think it changes the whole look of the layout, especially when you have a white background. Sometimes it feels like things are going to float right off the page when you're looking at it. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it does kind of feel like it. And this kind of feels like it contains it. Another great technique would be to go around the entire outside border with some stitching. And I probably could have done that if I had thought to do it before I put all the flowers on. I wouldn't want to stitch over the flowers, but I could have had my stitching on the other 3 sides, and that would have looked really good. But I didn't think about that, and so I'm just going to go with it and leave it as is. I could go in with a peach pen and do a sketchy border around the other 3 sides, or even a black pen because I've got the black sketchy lines of all of those flowers, which is a great idea. I might actually go back and do that. Just do a sketchy line around the 3 sides, and I think that would actually draw it together even more so. So maybe I'll do that, and then you might see that in the close-ups. I don't know. We'll see if I get it done. I am just using liquid glue to go ahead and adhere everything down. I'm only putting a little bit kind of towards the center because I know I want to tuck a few leaves in, and I'm not giving really great full coverage, which I don't really feel like I need to with liquid glue. It's not going anywhere once the liquid glue is kind of set in place unless, it gets ripped off the page. But, I'm not super aggressive when I put my layouts away into their sheet protectors. So I don't think it's going to get like ripped off the page or anything like that. Okay, while I do that, don't forget to go check out what MK's doing on her channel using the same products today. I don't know if she's using the stencil, which was not from today, but or even if she's using the stamps, she could be using the wood veneer, which is at the top of the screen there. I am going to use one piece of the wood veneer. Normally I use a lot more of the wood veneer, but today I feel like I'm only going to use the cat. The other stuff I'm going to save for something else because I don't feel like they go great with my topic, and I don't want to force it. I feel like I just want the photo to kind of be the star of everything, and everything to kind of support the, I don't know, there's not really a story other than that he's no longer with us, which is very sad, but yeah, there's not a huge story, so yeah, one of those things you get to document, like one of life's little treasures, right? So anyway, I am going to add some more flowers over to this little side of the photo. I felt like that one leaf was just a little bit on the big side, so I tucked in a smaller leaf, and then I'm going to add a couple of the other smaller leaves to the cluster here, just to bring over some greenery. I like the way that looks. I think it looks nice. I do have two labels that I'm going to be putting on this layout, and that's just going to give me a little spot to write. But I don't, like I said, I don't have a ton to write, so I don't feel like I need a huge spot. And then I am going to use the thickers that you see in the left-hand corner for my title, which is just going to be R.I.P. Tigger, and that's his name was Tigger. I know it's a very common cat name, not very imaginative. It wasn't my choice. It was my kids named him when we had him for 11 years, and he was a rescue, and so yeah, the kids named him. But he was a very sweet cat. If he knew you, if he didn't know you, he would, which I think is true of a lot of cats, where they just hide or don't come around. He was like that with most people, and kind of aloof. And I think that was because he had a background of just being on the street. He was not rescued from a shelter. He was rescued as a kitten in the bushes. So yeah, that is pretty much it, you guys. I don't really have anything else. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. I'm happy to answer any that you might have. I really appreciate you guys watching my channel today and taking the time to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this one, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I will be back again with another one tomorrow, so come back and see me then. And I hope that you are enjoying this series. We only have a few more days left, and I have some really cool layouts coming up for you, so I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.